So, there are two obstacles to buying. I said, don't sell, let your buyers buy. And thank you for it, right? But there are two obstacles to buying, why it's so difficult sometimes. And the first is, they have fears. And the first fear of everyone, including ourselves, is the fear of failure, right? Have you made a mistake before?
Yes.
Would you like to make another mistake?
No.
Have your clients made mistakes before?
Yes.
Do they want to make another mistake?
No.
So here you are offering me something that I did before with disastrous results, right? But you're saying, hey, I'm different, right? What made you different? Because I'm with a different company, right? But you offer the same product like that, and you say, yeah, sure, that's what the other guy said too, right? Yes? Because tendency is a lot of people are saying the same things. Gee, you're even saying the same things over and over again, right? So they have fear. They don't want to make that mistake again, right? So they postpone the buying decision until they're absolutely sure. Can you be absolutely sure? No. Say no. So they postpone the decision forever, right? And now the other fear is their fear of criticism, right? So it's like, you're going to buy an expensive cell phone, right? So you save the money, right? So you got the cash in your pocket. Do you go to the mall and go to the very first store and say, I want that phone, here's the money? Do you do that? No? Why not? What do? You canvas. But you've been saving the money for 6 months, right? And every time you go to the mall, you canvas for 6 months, right? You go to the mall and say, that. And sometimes you even go in, can I see, right? How many times have you checked out that phone? You already know what phone you're going to get. You already know what color, and you already know how much it is in Ayala and SM and Robinsons and in Green Hills, right? You even checked out the website. You've been to the consumer whatever. You already know what you're going to buy, right? But on that fateful day, you canvas again. Why? Fear of failure. And then maybe you already know it's $26, whatever the price is, right? But you're afraid that you might go home and tell your friend, hey, look, I got the phone. How much you get it? 29. Ay, gaga. 26 lang yan sa Green Hills. Right? Yes? So you're afraid that you might make that mistake, right? So not the same thing with whatever financial instrument you're offering. I'm afraid to make a mistake, right? I'm afraid of criticism, right? So who do I ask? I get advice, right? But like before you buy the phone, you tell your friend, hey, I'm going to buy a phone, right? And it's like 29,000 in Ayala. And say, how much is it in Greenville? How much is it in Divisoria? How much in 168? How much in Home? Whatever, right? You want to know, right? You ask advice, correct?
Yes.
So before you sign up or you invest in any financial instrument, where do you seek advice from? From the other advisors that you know. You talk to your uncle. Hey, Tito, di ba you're also a financial planner? Advisor? Yeah. Well, I've been offered it. What do you think? Now, he is in the same business, right? So what do you think happens? His uncle will say, oh, well, here, listen, let me give you some advice. Sit down, and then shows his own presentation, right? Yeah? And then you follow up and say, no, I'm not interested, thank you very much. And then you scratch your head, what happened? You understand?
Yes.
Does that happen? You never know, right? Because they just said, I'm not interested. But they signed up with their uncle, their best friend, their classmate from Facebook. Right? Yes. So, now you have your own fear. Your fear is the fear of rejection. Right? You're afraid that they will say no. You're afraid that they're going to object. So you're afraid of getting rejected, and they are afraid of making a mistake. So you procrastinate, and they procrastinate, and you live happily ever after. They don't reject you, you don't get rejected, they don't fail, right? Isn't that such a win-win arrangement? They never make a mistake, and you never get rejected, right? In baseball, the analogy is no hits, no runs, no errors. Right? You never step up to the plate, so you never strike out. Yes?
Yes.
You know Babe Ruth? Do you know Babe Ruth?
Yes.
He's from another generation. I think Sydney was during that time you were watching baseball. And he's the, highest home run before. He used to hold the record for the most home runs. But you know what a lot of people don't know? He also held the record for the most strikeouts. He had the record for the most strikeouts. That doesn't go into the record books. They only recognize how many home runs he hit. But to hit the home run, you gotta be willing to take the strikeout, right? Because if you're afraid to strike out, what happens? You don't swing. Why? You're waiting for the walk. You want to get the ball. You're hoping, oh, I hope it's a ball, right? And then you want to walk. With the strike, the pitchers are skilled. They're trained to strike you out, right? So you strike out without even swinging the bat. Babe Ruth was not afraid to swing the bat. So he struck out more times than anyone. Or Michael Jordan, maybe you're more familiar, right? He had this commercial on Nike, failure. He said, I'm not afraid to fail. I've had the ball more times than anyone in the last dying seconds. And I made the shot, and I missed more times than I made the shot. But I'm not afraid to take that shot. Because I fail so much, I succeed so much. Right? So, but that's not the topic of this talk. Now man, this is the Bible. Everybody read that. You are always paid in the direct proportion to the service that you render. In other words, as you sow, you shall reap, right? The speaker earlier said, you give, and the more you give, the more you receive, right? It's better to give. See, you know it already, right? So, that means to make people buy from you, you don't sell. You give service. You understand? The more service that you give, the more help you are to them, the more they're going to want to buy from you because of their reasons. In other words, what you need to do is find a need and fill it. Now, does everybody have the same need? No. Different people have different needs, right? So, our job is to first discover what is that need that I can fill. And then find out which product am I carrying that will fulfill that need. Yes? But sometimes we work on whose need? Our need, right? Because this product has an incentive this month, right? So there's a contest to push this product, right? So what do you push? That product, right? Because you're going to go to Singapore, right? So we focus on what we need, where we get the most income, what's the easiest to sell, what is the plan that I'm familiar with, and that's what you push. Not taking into consideration what are the buyer's needs, right? So the first step is to ask, find out. Akala ko meron ng delay sa back. So you ask, the problem with a lot of people that are offering products or services to buyers is we have a disease. You know the disease of salespeople? Do you know? Diarrhea of the mouth. We are so in love with our voice and our presentation that we practice forever, right? And we want to get it out, right?
Yes.
So you talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, hoping that the more you talk, the more sales you get, right? But you know, astonishingly, people are thinking about themselves 95% of the time. So, people are thinking about their needs and their problems and their concerns, and they don't care about you or your quota or your incentive to Singapore, right? Do they care? No. Do they care what's your standing in the company? Do they care that you're going to lose your job tomorrow if you don't close this sale today? They don't care, but they care about their money and what they're going to get. So, people buy because of their reasons, not yours. You know, I have a very funny story of this guy. He was selling vacuum cleaners for Electrolux, and then he went to Corinthian Garden to the mom of my friend who was going to buy an Electrolux vacuum cleaner. So just, you know, the guy's luck, he knocked on the door of this woman who was about to buy the same brand. Well, he walked in and started talking about his reasons. Because he needed one more sale to qualify for Hong Kong or some trip or other, right? So he went in, he did the demo, and he said, "Mom, you got to buy, I just need one sale to go to Singapore." And then the buyer got turned off and said, "Well, I'm not going to buy," right? And then shoot him away. And then the next day she went into the office of the Electrolux and bought over the counter. Because she just got turned off by his wanting to make the sale because he needed one more sale to go to Singapore. He appealed to the wrong reason. People have their reasons. But sometimes, because of that diarrhea of the mouth, we don't hear or we don't even care about their problems, about their situation in life. We were born with one mouth and two ears. So you talk for 5 minutes, and then you listen for 10. You know the Freudian slip? Freud, you know Sigmund Freud?
Yes.
Yeah, good. There's such a thing as called Freudian slip, or slip of the tongue. When you talk to people and make them talk, invariably their reasons will come out. They're going to talk about their problems. They're going to talk about their situation.